right, so on the left we have the log cabin. This is where Mr. Vince, the editing guy, stayed in. This is where we stayed for 3 days, Jennifer, in the coastal themed, beach themed one. And then I think we should sit inside the Adobe themed one and continue this conversation. So come on inside with us. Smells good in here, huh?
So bright too.
All right, let's talk. All right, everybody, we are now sitting in the Adobe style or Adobe themed casita. We have spent the last 3 days not only filming here and running our show with a 24-hour show, and we'll get into that in a moment, but also sleeping here. And I will say, I wish the beds came with the casita because they're super comfortable.
Well, it's a good thing, but because there wasn't a whole lot of rest, and once you put your head down, you want to fall asleep right away. And that was the other amazing things about the casitas is just once you walked in the door, shut that door behind you, you were home.
It really was. I mean, it's quiet. We're by a highway. We're actually in the parking lot of the BOXABL facility that's out behind us here. And it's a big facility. There's a lot going on here. So it is, you know, quite remarkable how quiet it is being inside one of these. If you watch some of the live stream, you're going to see, and you know, we were sitting in here, it does not feel like a house that folds from 8 feet to get to this size. And I was quite impressed with it, honestly. I mean, I have not found a whole lot of things bad to say at all. I mean, these are solid walls. I don't know, Jen. I'm trying not to be an infomercial. I know last time we did this, people, oh, they're like an infomercial, but the reality of it is, they're really nice.
Yeah, and I think it's also about understanding what you're investing in with BOXABL, right? In terms of what these are and what they're designed to achieve. Number one, health, comfort, safety, security. You know, that's the number one thing in terms of building shelter. Durable, right? We talk about the most resilient and durable type of home. The most sustainable home is one that doesn't need to be rebuilt.
That's right.
And these feel solid. They are solid. We walked the manufacturing line. We took a look at the building materials that they were using. We saw how they were put together, unfolded, installed. It's a solid process.
Yeah, so the timeline here, I mean, really goes like this. Paolo, Galliano, and then the team here, Alexis and David and Kyle, do whatever you want to do. There's no editing. Everything we shot is live. It was unedited. So you're seeing it for what it is. There's a lot of information out there floating around. Good, bad, ugly. Does Elon have one? It does. All right, I can confirm he has one currently. The reality of it is, you know, this is a startup company. This is a tech company. This is a company that found a product that's really unique, that there's 170,000 people that were excited to put a down payment on these.
Yeah.
But they don't have their capacity there yet because they've only been in business less than 2 years and it's new.
Yeah, I mean, here are a couple of things that I loved about our experience here at BOXABL. Number one, the team is learning as they're going along. They're moving fast. The demand is there. They're trying to innovate wisely and not make rushed decisions.
That's right.
And that takes time and patience. The demand for the product is significant, so that means there's definitely a marketplace for it. Things about the BOXABL that I love, they thought about every nook and cranny. They've spent time inside these themselves. I love the windows. I love the front doors. I love how things come together. Do I wish the bathroom door was a little bit different?
Barn door, yeah.
I do wish that, but from a practicality standpoint and even from noise blocking and light filtering, it hit the mark.
And there's always a lot of comments about, well, you shouldn't have the stove next to the refrigerator and X, Y, Z, but where do you put it? Like, there's structure in here and there's a lot of things that have to be taken into consideration, so there is give and take. I think the biggest thing that they have solved for, in my mind, you know, Jennifer and I have been in the offsite modular panel CLT, you know, mass construction world for over 20 years. So we understand this process and what the headaches are when you have to transport buildings or building components. Transportation and permits are typically a huge deal. There's a reason why these are only 8 foot wide. One, you don't need to have permits to transport them. That is a huge deal. Modular homes, you got to get a permit, you got to have state troopers or flag cars, depending on where you're at. and that adds $5,000-$10,000 per module when transporting, and that's a cost that goes out to the consumer. So to me, one of the biggest things that they solved for was the transportation issue.
So think about the big problems that they are up against. And, you know, we always talk about what problem are you trying to solve?
Yeah.
Regulation is another big one in terms of what code do they fall under, how do they work within local towns, regions, states. Operational efficiency of these things, I mean, these are solid. Everything is hinged, but you would never know it once you're inside. So from an operating expense, they're trying to achieve a very tight building envelope, which is the number one thing. So when you talk about the stove being next to the refrigerator, this is the give and take, you know, when you're trying to solve for these really big problems. And when you think about how down the road, you know, version 2.0, 3.0, clients might be able to customize the interiors, you know, those can be addressed at different stages of the process.
Sure.
But I mean, overall, Dave, the space is well laid out, the cabinets, you know, you had a lot of room to work with.
We set up a whole studio in here, and there was at times 5-6 of us in here doing a podcast, and it was also where we were sleeping.
The other thing that I love about the BOXABL team is they are willing to listen and they're learning every day. The working relationship with the people here is unbelievable. The way that they interact and converse and engage and think about things literally outside the box. Really terrific energy inside.
Yeah, culture is everything. We travel the world. The best companies out there, construction companies, tech companies, they have amazing culture, because when you have an amazing culture, then all the hard work comes a little bit easier because you have the buy-in from the team members, right, on the team. And the team members here all were very gracious. Everybody said hello. Even in our units, they were just finishing them. They're finishing the one next door. They were hurrying up, trying to get them done. So while we got here, we could actually review them and understand what's going on and stay in one. And with that, they've also said we want hard, honest feedback. So we're gonna do that this afternoon with their team. But the problem is, outside of the microwave blowing a fuse, you know, because these are temporarily set up, or, you know, the hot water tank in one of the units wasn't turned on. But of course we come and we pick the unit that they weren't ready for us to be in. But the point of it is, there was somebody here on the weekend, and I told him, I said, we'll just use the one next door. Oh no, they kept coming, and they really wanted to make sure that we were taken care of. And that has a lot to do with culture.
Absolutely. And also think about how they stylized each of these casitas.
Yep.
Each one, exterior and interior, has a different theme. It's all the same layout. It's all the same fixtures, but you walk into each and it's a completely different vibe, all the way down to the fragrance. When you walk in, you know, what you smell matches the theme of the casita. So they've really thought about every detail.
Like, they're a design company, a design tech company. You know, they got a contemporary design here. They've really shown that you can take a white box, so to speak, BOXABL, and there's a reason for it, because you can dress it however you want. It's very neutral in the style, and you can do very little to make it feel like your own, and that's what they've done here. Hey everybody, this is Dave Cooper, and I want everybody to know on this program, Dave Cooper Live, we are not paid ever to say or do anything on this show. We are an editorial series. We are bringing you the people, the products, and the processes that are building it better. And we are delivering that information to you unedited so you can make the decision for yourself. Who do you want to do business with? Who do you believe in that's making the next big move in the built environment? It's unedited on our part. We are impartial to it. We're delivering you the information. You make the decisions on Dave Cooper Live, and we're going to continue to do that. Thanks for watching.